Hey, good morning. Christy Mattoon here with Rewire. I've been working a lot the last couple of days on different resources and different things that you can do to keep contributing to your own health and benefit yourself. So follow this page, subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm just going to keep going through these and going through them. And I hope it benefits you. I hope you find some release in the things that you're having issues with, because I think at the end of the day, when you understand that it's all inside you, like not only the corrections, not only the fixes that you can do for yourself, the pain, the problems are all inside you. And when you realize it's all in one container, it's not an external issue, it's an inside you issue. Sometimes, it's just your perception of it and how you take it, or how you look at a situation or a thing. And sometimes it's locked into your programming. Sometimes that's pretty much it, actually. It's either locked into your programming or it's only your perception of the thing that you're struggling with. And when you start realizing that and realize how much control you can actually have over your own outcome simply by taking authority inside of your own life, I think it gets super interesting. So one of the biggest things I keep seeing people presenting with is self-sabotage, doubt, lack of trust issues. And those kind of issues, while they can be subconscious in the nature of that happened in my childhood and now here I am stuck in this thing, it's also programming that you keep reprogramming as you go along, which is kind of what all of it is anyway. But these ones are very specific in the way that we do them to ourselves and then continue to do it, and then how you can undo it. Self-sabotage and doubt pretty much go hand in hand. I don't think they're really separable. Usually when a person is self-sabotaging, they're doubting. And how it shows up is the representation of the cycles and the things that you're doing or not doing, not allowing yourself to do. Does that make sense? So let's use the example of a diet. And diets are interesting in and of themselves because any of them would probably work if you find one that suits you and suits your needs, because everybody's physiology is different in the fact that we need different things to heal ourselves. But it's all still the same thing in the fact that if you start a diet and don't stick with it and you cut it short, you're training yourself to self-sabotage. Like you're literally in that moment training yourself to have an issue with this. And we all do it really super good. So here's the way I see it. You start something and you get up to the edge of it, and you're like hemming and hawing because it's change and it's uncomfortable. And then you get right up to the edge to it, and then you just kind of fall backwards. And then you're like, okay, I'll try again later. And then you plan it and you get all this emphasis put on it, and you're putting all this energy into it, and you walk up to the edge of it, and then you fall over again, and you're like, oh, I tried to start and then I didn't start, and then you do it again. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And what you're doing is training the neural pathways that every time you get close to doing this thing, you're supposed to fall over. You're supposed to quit. Like you're literally training yourself that you're supposed to not do the thing that you're trying the hardest to do. Every time you walk up to the edge of it, are you hearing what I'm saying? And you go, and it starts getting uncomfortable, and you're like, oh, I just want to eat the cake. I just want to eat the pie. I just want to eat and then you go back and you do the thing that you shouldn't be doing, and you reinforce the pattern that you're self-sabotaging, or whatever you're calling, or that you're doubting you can get through this. And simply because you probably saw your mom do it. You may have saw your aunt do it. You saw your grandma do it. You saw somebody else do it. They didn't get through it. You saw the struggle and the fight. You kind of learned it from there, right? So it can start in that kind of a place. But one of the easiest ways to start fixing it is in this idea of will, where you decide, I'm going to go do this thing. Now, there's two ways to do it, and this is where resiliency training gets really important. is you can train yourself to do things in joy. even diets, even exercise programs, even things you say, oh, I hate to do this, studying, right? Studying. I'm working with a young lady right now, and she's trying to study for this huge thing, and she's just in this huge fight and turmoil. It's a subconscious issue. No, it's not. It's a you issue, right? We got to cut out this thing where we're taking our subconscious and blaming it for stuff. And even if it is a subconscious issue, even if it is, you still have to walk through it. You still have to do the work to get to the other side, right? If you're doing the work in cortisol and adrenaline, it will make it a ton harder. And that's where I say start with the feeling instead of starting with the issue. If you're starting in cortisol and adrenaline, or in emotions and anger, fear, frustration, rage, doubt, self-sabotage, like list your emotional status to the issue that you're having, and you're starting from that place, you're going to butt heads with that thing, and you probably never will get over the hump. But if you change the way you feel about it first, so I raise my level of feeling, this is what I train people to do, and then I come at it from that level of joy, from that level of even just peace. Just peace will make it way easier to get through than whatever emotional upset or turmoil you're in. But you have to decide to stay in that peace. You have to decide to stay in that joy, and then you have to train your system to come back to it. So now when I think about the diet, and I'm sitting here in my joy, and I get a little bit excited about doing it, and this is exactly the way it works every time with anything, and I get up to the edge of it, and I'm still excited and joyful, guess what happens? I walk right through it like it's almost nothing. And so we do this with things we love all the time, right? I have something exciting, about to happen, and, maybe somebody's getting married or something fun's about to happen. And I walk up to the edge of it with excitement and joy because it's a fun thing to go do. And I walk through it super easily, no matter what the circumstance is, because I'm in joy and I'm at peace and I'm okay, right? It's easier. Everything in your life is that way. But if you stay in the level of cortisol and stay in the level of adrenaline, you're going to walk up to the edge of that thing and you're going to smack it like it's a wall, and you're going to fall over. And in that moment, you are training your brain. You are training your brain. You're putting little files in your brain going, whew, that's going to be hard. I don't want to do it. And the next time you come up to something, good old brain's going to go looking for information, and it's going to pull out that file. Even if it's not exactly the same thing, it could be something else, something similar. Maybe you have to go to somebody else's thing, or you have to do a different kind of thing that involves fixing your physiology. Maybe it's not a diet the next time. Maybe it's an exercise program, or maybe, who knows? And you're going to fight it because you trained yourself to. That's exactly right. So here's my suggestion. Don't do that. Plain and simple. Change the state of your feeling first, and then just practice staying in a different state. Here's a good way to do it. Go outside and watch a sunrise. Watch a sunset. Go outside and be in nature. Be in some place that you're just totally in awe of. Go walk on a beach that you've been on before and feel the sand under your feet. Smell the ocean water. I don't know, whatever it is you see when you're on that beach, just be there with it. Be there with it, and just feel inside your body. And you want to get to where you can do that so good the beach can fall off. You don't have to go to the beach anymore necessarily inside your mind, but you just get that feeling just by taking a big breath. And you go straight into that feeling. And then you practice being in that feeling, and then think about doing the diet. And then think about going through the thing. You see what I'm saying? And then you work through it from that angle. I hope this helps. I hope this blesses you. Please subscribe, leave comments below. I always love your comments. And if you need specific help, say something, and I'll see if I can do a video on that next. Blessings and peace.